I really appreciate you joining us today to talk about some of the key issues. First off, we'll start there. What do you think are some of the key issues facing Congress right now?
The most important issue is almost always jobs, creating jobs, making sure we're creating a nurturing environment for job creation, world-class workforce with the skills that we need in the world today, energy security, public safety, access to capital for businesses that need to borrow money, transportation, investment on transportation, on roads, highways, and bridges. Those are always important. And we've been doing our education system. We've been actually this month, a whole lot of work on education on the transportation side. So,
I want to talk about some of the key votes that have been happening recently. We'll start with Planned Parenthood. There's been an effort by Republican senators to defund it. What's your response to all that?
Our Republican friends have sought to defund Planned Parenthood, not every week, not every month, but pretty consistently. I think it's a way for them to message to their base, and so they keep bringing it up. The amendments that they offered on the budget reconciliation bill are going to be the bill's going to be vetoed by the president. So I think it was an exercise in messaging. As it turns out, most women get a lot of their health care from their OBGYN. For maybe 20–25% of the women in this country, I'm told that their women's health care comes from a Planned Parenthood office close to them. I think some people think that all they do at Planned Parenthood is perform abortions. That's not it at all. One of the things they do is to help make sure that women don't have children until they're ready, and they and their hopefully husband are ready to have children, raise their child. So. That we're going to continue to have this debate. As it turns out, the number of abortions is down by a lot. And I think the one thing where they happen to be pro-choice, pro-life, the one thing that we can agree on, I hope, is that we want to reduce the number of unplanned, unwanted pregnancies. And then there won't be a demand for abortions. In Planned Parenthood, a big part of their job is to help people plan to be parents and to do it when they're ready to be responsible parents.
Another initiative that's been a target has been the Affordable Care Act. That was another thing that they voted on in the bill. Do you mind talking a little bit about the Affordable Care Act? Yeah,
you go back 6 years ago in this country, we were spending as a nation 18% of our gross domestic product for healthcare, 18%, more than any other nation in the world. Japan, for example, they spend 8% of their gross domestic product, less than half of what we spend. They get better results, and they cover everybody. 6 years ago, we had 40 million people going to bed at night without any health care coverage at all. That didn't make any sense. And what we tried to do is to learn what other nations, other states are doing to provide cost-effective health care for people. And we now have seen health care costs as a percentage of gross domestic product actually coming down in the U.S. for the first time in years. And the number of people without health care coverage is down by more than half, from about 40 million to 20 million. And we're reminded in the book of Matthew 25, to look out for the least of these. When I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was naked, did you clothe me? When I was thirsty, did you give me to drink? When I was sick and in prison, did you come to see me? It doesn't say when I had no health care coverage and my only health care was going to an emergency room in the middle of the night or on a weekend or something. Did you try to do something about that? I think we have a moral imperative to help people who are in need, and we have a fiscal imperative to meet that moral imperative in a cost-effective way. So that's where I come from.
I want to transition towards many of these shootings that we've had recently. The response of many has been to call for more gun control. In fact, there's just a bill proposed by the Democrats to do just that. Do you think there should be more gun control, and if so, what would it look like?
I think one of the areas my dad was a huge hunter, gun owner, gun trader. I grew up in a home where my dad kept weapons, and I'm very comfortable with that. Learned to hunt when I was early, own a gun myself. There are a number of things that we agree with, common sense things that we agree with. Let's say I'm going to go to a gun show, open gun show, and I want to buy a weapon. And let's say I am a felon, a convicted felon, or I'm someone who has serious mental health problems. And I have two gun dealers I go up to. One is federally registered, and I try to buy a weapon. They do a background check on me. Find out that I'm a convicted felon, find out that I have these serious mental health problems. They won't sell me a weapon. I can go to the next table over to the next gun dealer who's not a federally registered gun dealer and buy that weapon, regardless of my criminal history or whatever. We have people that are here on terrorist watch lists, and they can go buy weapons, thousands of weapons. And I don't think that's very smart. I don't think it's good common sense. So I think most Americans would say a person who has a serious criminal record, felony record, they have serious problems with their mental health, they're on the terrorist watch list, they shouldn't be buying weapons. And the rest of us should be able to. I think let's find the things that we agree on and do something about those.
All right, well, I thank you for your time. I know you're very busy.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you kidding? I'm just glad you came.